Hello and welcome. My name is Dennis Jarvis, and this is the second and final lecture in the time management series. Time is a valuable resource that needs to be used wisely. This presentation is about what you actually do or say in a range of situations that affect you at various stages in your life. Many decisions affect your life at that time and in the future. My only qualifications for making this presentation is my personal life experiences. I have had tragedy and sadness and been through all the ups and downs in life, but in general it's been good. Mum and Dad looked after me and my four brothers and sister with love and kindness. I'm not saying that life was perfect and we never argued. Of course we did. All families do. The important thing is that we were always able to sort out our differences with understanding, making apologies and forgiving when it was right to do so. I hope that the advice on the following slides will help you make the best personal decisions in the situations that happen during your lifetime and enjoy happy relationship with your partner and all your family members. The situations set out on the following slides will apply to all types of couples who are in a relationship and now wish to live together as husband and wife. The following slides will look at situations that may occur as couples go on their journey through life. The current set of slides will cover first-time relationships that I hope will last for life. It assumes you fully know the person, his or her background and personality, and think you can be sure of a long-term loving relationship. Sometimes, by bereavement or divorce, you will enter a grieving process, after which you may meet another person that you would like to share your life with. Later slides will deal with love second time around. There are many ways in which to spend time together. The really important thing is to have fun and get to know each other better. Make sure that you are compatible before you leap into bed. Always remember that sexual attraction is not necessarily love. Moving in together is a big decision. You need to be sure you can be yourself as well as husband or wife. Sex is only of secondary importance to your love for each other. Make sure you discuss all the items mentioned on this slide. We will look at each individually on the following slides. It is important to make sure that you have a loving relationship and are both prepared to allow each other freedom to maintain friends and activities that you can enjoy together or separately. Make sure that neither of you is possessive or controlling. You need to confirm whether or not you would like to have a family together. When you have children, they change your lifestyle. They need love, care, time and attention, and create extra work that needs to be shared between husband and wife. Children are a blessing and can bring much joy to a happy marriage. When you are madly in love, it is easy to ignore financial matters. But Unfortunately, they form a key part in your life, and if not carefully handled, will cause major problems later. You need to estimate the cost of all the items on this slide and agree what you can afford based on your joint income. Most couples will at some time experience financial problems, as indeed I have, but my wife and I worked our way out together. That is what you will need to do. When first setting up home together, it is best to retain your own individual bank accounts and set up a standing order for a set amount to be paid into a joint bank account to pay all normal expenses. For example, mortgage or rent, electricity, gas, cleaning materials, and food. If you have enough income, you may wish to set up a joint savings account and transfer cash into it as and when you can. All joint accounts should require both to sign for cash transfers and withdrawals. Most couples do not have enough money to buy a property outright, so they have to have a mortgage or rent a property until they can save enough money for a deposit. When negotiating any financial agreement, you need to decide whether they are signed as joint or individual responsibility. Providing you are both contributing to the purchase or rental, it is best to share the responsibility. Note, when buying a property, it is best to own the freehold. The basic needs of a household cost money, so you must decide what is necessary. Make sure you only buy items you actually need and stay within your household budget. When Sally and I married, we had nowhere to live, so we borrowed a flat from neighbours who worked in London during the week and dossed down in her dad's flat at the weekend until we found a flat to rent, where we had only bits and bobs of basic furniture and bed sheets for curtains. The slide says it all. Whenever you make love, enjoy it. After a person has been through a grieving process and met someone with whom they wish to share the rest of their life, most of the situations on the previous slides will be the same for second time around. But there are other serious situations that need to be considered. We will now look at the things that apply to a second loving relationship. Grieving can take some time. In my case, it was about 2 years of just eat, sleep and work after Sally died. Grieving is a very personal thing. You will never forget the person you loved, but after the grieving period, you will need to lead your own life. If after grieving you find another person to love and want to set up home together, you will need to discuss the items on the slides that follow the next slide that tries to explain the feelings and actions of a divorcee. I personally have not experienced divorce, although Aldine had been divorced from her first husband for some years when we met. You can see that there is a question mark against the first two items on this slide. That is because that is what I think are the initial feelings of someone getting divorced. Obviously, once all the family and financial problems have been sorted out and grieving has ended, a divorced person will want to return to leading their own life. In due course, they may meet another person with whom they wish to spend the rest of their life. The following slides will assume that they have met that person and set out things to discuss and agree before setting up home together. This is a big decision. You need to be sure you can be yourself as well as husband or wife. Sex is only secondary importance to your love for each other. Make sure you discuss all the items mentioned on this slide. We will look at each individually on the following slides. It is important to make sure that you have a loving relationship and are both prepared to allow each other freedom to maintain friends and activities that you can enjoy together or separately. Make sure that neither of you is possessive or controlling. One or both of you may have children. You need to be sure that you will treat each other's children with love and care. Whatever their age, you need to discuss your plans with your children. Even if they are adults and do not live with you, it is still best to discuss your plans with them. And if they are happy for you, that's fine. But if not, you need to decide what you think is best for you personally, because you have to lead your own life. When you are madly in love, it is easy to ignore financial matters, but unfortunately, they form a key part in your life, and if not carefully handled, will cause major problems later. You need to estimate the cost of all the items on this slide and agree what you can afford based on your joint income. Most couples will at some time experience financial problems, as indeed I have, but my wife and I worked our way out together. That is what you will need to do. I know that this is a repeat slide, but finance is critical. The items on this slide need to be considered when you're looking at banking on the next slide. One or both of you may own a property or have savings. We will look at these as separate items on the following slides. You need to make a choice between all the items on this slide. In my case, I sold my house and bought a 50% share in Aldi's house. A few years later, we bought another house together. Ideally, if you can both afford to pay an equal share of the cost, you may decide to buy a property together with joint equal ownership. When first setting up home together, it is best to retain your own individual bank accounts and set up a standing order for a set amount to be paid into a joint bank account to pay for all normal expenses, for example, mortgage, rent, electricity, gas, cleaning materials and food. If you already have savings, you may wish to keep them separate and add to them. You may also like to set up a joint savings account with your partner and transfer cash into it as and when you can. All joint accounts should require both to sign for cash transfers and withdrawals. I recommend that you consider the items on this slide, decide who will benefit from your estate, contact a qualified solicitor, and make a will accordingly. Whenever you make love, enjoy it. This slide makes it clear that I do not have any medical qualifications. So the following slides discussing some conditions that may affect your sex life are only based on general life experiences. There are a number of symptoms that take place during the menopause. You need to discuss your personal symptoms with your GP, as the symptoms listed online can also apply to other medical conditions. Some women can work through it and come out the other side. Others need medical help and need to discuss available treatment with their GP. Providing the person concerned is treated with love and understanding, your relationship will continue happily after the menopause. Usually, your partner's love and understanding can see you through this problem to a situation where you can enjoy a normal sexual relationship. Before buying any medicines, consult your GP to ensure it will not cause any problems with your current medical conditions and any other medication you may be taking. If you love each other, nothing will separate you, whatever happens in life. Enjoy life to the full and be happy. Give a little, give a lot, put anything in the pot. Every penny helps. Thank you for your support. Bye for now.